we have some questions? You got questions?
So, guys, all right. One question that was brought up is, what do you wish that women would know that they seem not to know? Like one thing that we feel that they just don't get it about men, that they need to actually be put on. This is like that Steve Harvey think like a man, act like a woman kind of moment.
I mean, one thing I could say is that men, we desire respect more than love, I would say. You know, like, the respect is the highest form of adoration you can give for us. It's a big core of who we are as a man, is getting that respect. You know, and when a man feels disrespected, you already know how we feel. We You feel me? So that's really like the core component of how we are. Just like for women, typically it's feeling validated, loved, adored, that kind of thing. For men, even though we do have emotions and we do want those things too, ultimately respect is the main thing.
Yeah. But I would add to that. I think women would realize so that they just don't. So to avoid being played a lot, that men are not as simple as they're portrayed to be. Because I know this whole thing, and I get it. Yeah, women develop faster, but at the end of the day, but men, I wish women would know that when we are just, I guess, dragging you along, that you guys realize that we are really. If we really want something, we want you. You're not going to have to guess if a man wants you. So if you're in a relationship, or if you're in a situationship, or whatever these ships are now these days, is that when we really truly want something, there's going to be no doubt that we want.
Exactly, and you know that really breaks my heart a lot of times. Like when I see women who are confused as far as like their status of the relationship. Yeah, and it's just sort of like if it wasn't made very clear to you. We would make it clear. Men make it very clear.
So if we're not making it clear, it's because we want to play.
Yeah, and men are very goal oriented, and we go after what we want. Yeah. So it's like if we're not pursuing that directly, then
dead giveaway.
Woman, where's my camera? Listen, if you're with a man 5 years and he has not yet made it clear that he wants you, left the boy. Simple.
You're not with the man.
You're not with the boy. Left the boy. You're not with the man. Left the boy. Because I mean, like there was a story, right? And this woman said that there was this man who, you know, used to hang out with his guys at the bar, and you know, he used to see this woman across the street, and he always used to joke to his boys and be like, you know, I'm gonna marry that woman one day. And 3 years later, he actually married that woman. Yeah. Because men always know what they want, believe it or not. And I know that is one of the things that I wish women know. Men know, really what they want.
We're not confused. The ones that's acting confused, they ain't confused. They just acting it because they don't know how to say.
Not boys. Men, not man too.
Yeah, that's because your wife was. Your wife knew from the jump that you were pursuing marriage.
Yeah. She knew from the get go. She knew, you know, when I gave her my phone and be like, you know, put that number in. She knew. Yeah. Like I went to them and be like, yeah. You went to know.
The wink.
I mean, the wink. Be like, yeah. Like, but men know what they want, and also I wish women knew that men want to be understood. Men want to be listened to.
Yes.
They want to be listened to. Yeah. Like regardless of what is going on. Like sometimes men want to come home and be like, hey babe, you know my day was like this. Like sometimes men want to do that too. Yeah. Like they're not that simple, as Eddie said. Like we have emotions too. We cry too. Come on. Well, I cried.
Maybe when the spirit touches me.
Yes, God.
Love languages are important too.
Oh, very.
No, y'all been killing me with that love
I
language.
mean, it's facts though.
Yes, very.
I got a question.
We've been talking about it.
I got a question.
All of this is.
I got a question. Am I wrong? Am I right? Or do I need to chill? So am I wrong? Am I right? Or do I need to chill?
Okay.
You need to chill.
3 options.
3 options. I think when it comes to the love languages, or Ed always be like, bro, sometimes you're just difficult. Okay. I think when it comes to the love languages, to me, what men want, I want all of them. Like, I want all the love. I think in a relationship, the love language, you should, like, all of them should be presented to that wife or that husband. Quality time, give it to the man. Words of
Affirmation, yeah.
words of affirmation are so important to a man.
Yeah.
I like to keep things cool, but I'm gonna just go up. I'm gonna go out a little bit. What do men want? Men are never gonna admit to this. The majority of us are not gonna admit to this. When I say words of affirmation, like, you be like, babe, that was good.
That's a love language that you're going against.
Again, I just say I want all the love. No, I'm not going
okay.
Hold up.
Because, boy, I tell you, men have been getting
the
this.
thing is,
I
I think it's
want all
the
of
love
them.
language.
All right.
The love languages.
But buy me the gifts.
We're supposed to
give me
get all of them, but there's like one or two that are primary.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay, so again.
Yeah.
So now, this is Tyreek ready to jump on me.
Because look, chill. Because here goes the thing. Y'all mention only the positive love language. Y'all forgetting that to some men, some men, their love language is words of destruction.
Oh, what?
No, like legit. Everybody is
I'm done. Turn the camera off. I'm done.
Some men can only be in a relationship that's toxic. That is their love language.
That's toxic,
Y'all
dog.
here mention the
No,
city
no,
stuff. I
that's
do
a
want
fact,
words
though.
of
I mean, like,
affirmation.
I call that stone love.
I do.
But
That's some men though. Some men are like, yeah.
I wouldn't say that that's real.
Yeah, right.
That's
right.
not the type of love we're aiming for. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
that's not what
Joe,
we're
that's
aiming
not
for.
true.
But you,
Alright, so I'm gonna go back to
see, that's the kind of love languages you want. I want all the love languages.
not
I want you
that.
to throw shoes at me.
I want all
Be
the
my
positive
star.
ones.
Yeah.
What I'm saying
Better bring them
is,
with
hop on what the lady said a lot of times, right? It was like, oftentimes they say men are kind of complacent and, men kind of just want to be the same all the time. Well, I'm going to start letting men know, you guys watching this, listen. For the first 3 years, I want words of affirmation. And then be like, baby, you know what? I want no words of affirmation no more. I want that quality time. And then when 4 years go away, be like, you know what? I don't want the quality time no more. I want that physical touch. So I know we wanted doing a lot the first 4 years. I just changed my mind. You know what? I just read this book and I was reading the Book of Solomon. I was reading the Book of Solomon. I want to try a couple things. So I know it was words of affirmation, but right now I want that quality time for the rest of the 6 months. And I'm gonna think about changing when the rest of the 6
Sound like
months
two
come.
phones.
I'm just saying.
Like for instance, like, all right, a dilemma. It's a dilemma in my marriage actually. Is that me and Krista, we have we don't really have compatible
Love language?
we don't have the same love languages. Like, they're different, so we have to kind of stretch ourselves to like love each other the way we need to
Meet
be
that
loved.
other person.
Yeah, because her love language is it's acts of service and gifts, and mine is physical touch and like words of affirmation.
Oh, that's so many men.
Yeah, so I'm more so I'm actually like a lovey-dovey, like touchy-feely type of person.
Same.
My wife isn't really like that. She prefers that you show love by like buying her a gift or like doing the chores or something, or just making her life easier in some way.
Okay.
So it becomes tough because it's like for her to feel love, I pretty much have to like really spend time, money, energy to make her feel that way. Wow, just for me, all she has to do is really just be next to me on the couch and I'll just put my arm around her.
That is true.
And I feel loved, you know?
I'm sorry, bro.
And it's so interesting.
I'm with you on that.
I feel because my love languages are basically quality time and physical touch. But what
Mine is definitely physical touch.
So many men grew up without it.
Physical touch.
physical touch.
So many men grew up without that hug, that
exactly.
that
You need a hug,
embrace.
But you know
need
what
a hug,
I
bro.
Not me. I just like physical touch.
Hey,
And then there's that as well, but still, majority men.
Please get Eddie married.
Done it.
Eddie
Yeah,
needs
burn.
a woman.
He needs to
All right.
I'm burn all in life.
Whoa. All right, back to you, Dwayne. Back to you,
touch,
Dwayne.
man.
I feel like psychologically, I feel like when some women are married, some of their love languages change. Their primary love languages, they change.
uh-oh, there it is.
Yeah.
What I just
feel
said.
so. Why?
What I just said.
Because-
Okay.
Why? No. Why? Because I feel that when you're dating and everything, her love language could be physical touch and acts of service, right? But when you get married now, the physical touch kind of drop a little bit, and acts of service jump up, and words of affirmation jump up more because now she's just in your face. So now it's not so much like I want that physical touch because like when we were dating, you touch me all the time. Like you always hugging me, you always touching me on my elbows and all that stuff.
Elbows.
Like, exactly. So I
Wake up
feel
next to each other.
I feel though that's more women than men because I don't think psychologically for men their love languages change.
Man,
It's just the woman.
Let you marry.
Other than Zay, because he has
Hey.
all the love languages.
Yeah, they got all the love
Hey.
languages.
And anything has physical touch.
Okay, watch this. My love language wasn't what it is when you spend money.
Gifts of gifts.
My love language wasn't gifts. Until I got with a lady that had some money, I was like, you know, like,
Like, keep it coming.
I'm just saying, okay.
Once again, those circumstances.
Next question.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
The question is, what do you consider too needy? So I'm gonna let the single guys weigh in on this because.
Oh, I can jump on this one. Too needy, right? Too needy, first of all, isn't healthy. I'm gonna tell you why it's not healthy. A lot of women, sometimes when I talk to them, and one woman in particular that I dated, they was like, "I'm clingy," and I thought they was clingy because of love language. This is my love language.
Clean.
Until I sat and I thought about it. I was like, shoot, man, it's like she just always just I just want you to be around me. Where you at? Da, da, da. And I've grown to understand, in my opinion, if I'm wrong, you guys gonna be like, I don't know, bro. Not, in my opinion, when you're too needy or you're too clingy, it's an insecurity issue. Because what happens is, you so needy and you so clingy, not that you want me to be around you, but who he talking to?
Yeah.
Is he gonna do me like this other dude? Is he gonna do me how this person do? So it's like, if you needy, you got a personality flaw that you need to take care of. You need to find your security within yourself. So too needy is basically blowing up my phone all the time. Too needy is asking me where I've been at, and I done told you where I be at and where I'm gonna be at and who I'm with. And you just gotta trust me if you're gonna be with me. Too needy is just ask too many questions. Like, baby, what, like I'm not going nowhere. Like, what's going on?
I mean,
with you?
too needy for me is basic. That's why I kind of like women that kind of got their own thing going on, to
Yeah.
like their own life.
They don't got
their
time
own-
to be that needy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that I don't want to be your whole world.
Right,
As great and as poetic as that sounds, no, I don't want to be your, like, have your friends. So allow me to miss you. You know, so us missing each other, have something. You know, yeah, absence what
Makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, so being just always like, oh my God, that I'm the whole center and everything has to. That's too much.
God.
That's suffocating.
And trust me, and it's not my job to make you happy. Like, you need to be happy on.
Oh God.
Well, know how to make yourself
Turn the,
happy.
You need to
turn the
make
cameras
yourself
off.
happy.
Turn the cameras. We're finished.
yeah, yeah.
That's
We're-
important, bro.
No, there is an important
got
thing
no
to be
friends?
said.
Get him, bro.
There is an important thing to be said.
Dr. Jovi. Coming at you.
From this conversation that we're currently in, cue the sad music.
Sad music, bro.
Toxic traits are not fun, and they can be handled appropriately. It is now currently 2021, and it is now easier than ever to seek counseling and sound therapy.
All right, so the question is, what would you consider an aggressive woman? So I think in today's
I don't want to be in a situation or a relationship where, you know, the woman is taking off my pants and she's throwing on a skirt on me.
You gotta
You
go.
know,
well, I can take off my pants. But I mean, don't put a spot on
well, yeah, like,
Throw you on the bed.
I was expecting a totally different example. But go ahead.
what I mean is aggression. Aggression to different people may mean different things,
Yeah.
right? So I don't want it to be that I'm in a relationship where the woman is belittling me just
Exactly.
because you make more money than me. Like, come on, you know, and we can go back to respect. You know, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
It's not a one-way street. It's not a monologue. It's dialogue. Right? So aggression to me is a woman belittling me, not showing that respect that I obviously give to you. You know, don't be like, hey, are you gonna wash those dishes that I put in the sink? Like, come on,
Exactly.
come on. You know, we're in this together. We're in this together.
So would you
Don't-
say like
don't-
aggressive women is like, it's just the tone of their voice, how they talk?
And more so body language, because an aggressive woman can be aggressive without without showing it in her tone. She can show it a lot in her body language, right? Especially like some women, if they're making all that money and they be like, oh.
But what I'm saying, so is it okay for them to be aggressive in certain situations, like because they probably
Sexually, yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Here we go
I'm
again.
married.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
That's it?
I mean,
All right, but also,
could we use the word assertive? All right, when we say aggressive, like what?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
that
Because
is
aggressive
true.
could
That
be
is
you
true.
as a
Aggressive
good,
is more of a
good
balance.
thing.
Let me ask you this question.
Aggressive.
That is true.
And on the
Yeah.
job,
Hold
like
on.
she's a real estate agent. Like
Aggressive in the sense where you feel emasculated.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, so we right
Yeah,
there.
so again, I'm
You
asking
can
this
be
question.
assertive.
Why
You
does
can be
a
assertive,
woman?
not
Hold on,
aggressive.
ask a question. Why does a woman ever have to be aggressive, and especially in a relationship? Think about it. If the man there, except for sexually, that's good. Stay there. But why does a woman ever have to be aggressive in a relationship
if there's a man.
if the man there?
Yeah.
That's a good question. That just came to my brain.
Because the
I don't
man's
know
a
the
wuss.
answer.
She don't to a good man, to a good leader. She don't.
I'm just asking.
The man is not strong enough to lead.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I
That's usually
mean,
why.
that just came to my mind. I don't have the
You gotta
answer.
check that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a question. It's like,
Yeah, she don't if he's a good leader.
But listen. Sometimes some good leaders, like Tony Dungy, for example, he was not the typical football coach that yelled and screamed and stuff
cursed.
like that. He had this gentle demeanor. Sometimes
He's gentle,
some guys are not really that whole makeup about them is not being aggressive. So isn't that her now complimenting? Because like there's some people that they'll compliment each
No, but-
other
but-
in that.
but
So
she
if
was saying-
she's lacking that,
But she
you
was
know?
saying aggressive in the sense
Oh,
of
to emasculate. All right,
Yeah.
got you.
Because, for example, like me and Krista, right? I'm more calm, laid back, cool.
Yeah.
Krista's more talkative in everybody's face, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So somebody might look on the outside and feel like she's like more
Yeah.
assertive, but behind closed doors,
Yeah.
I'm laying down
Exactly.
the law. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
yeah.
so
Yeah, I
you
feel
could be
you.
you
I
could be
feel
a
you.
gentle giant. You know what I'm saying?
and
But
that's
like,
not aggression. That's being assertive.
yeah, that's
because
assertive,
that's a
yeah.
part of her character.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I
Yeah,
said
so-
body language has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Because I can have a soft tone, but if we have that relationship where you know that I am the head of the household and you know that you're supposed to respect me by the way how two of us interact, then it doesn't matter how I sound. It doesn't matter what I say.
There's no need for you to scream, throw
Yeah,
dishes,
like-
slam on the table.
Right.
Exactly. I ain't got time for that. My
There's no
head
reason
hurt.
for you to.
Keep
And
attitude,
honestly, if
baby.
you want to keep your marriages alive, bro, just wash the dishes.
Yeah.
Just wash them,
I
bro.
do. I do.
If you don't wash the dishes, she gonna complain. If she have to wash the dishes, bro, she gonna complain.
Yeah.
Especially if she cook. Like,
No,
just wash the
that's
dishes.
good.
That's the thing. Like in my household, we have an agreement. If I cook, you wash your dishes. If you cook, I wash the dishes. So like it always goes back to
gotta have
teamwork.
Teamwork.
Oh,
And
naturally.
You're a team player.
agreement.
Naturally.
Agreement.
And then that goes
You have
that
to
goes
be
with almost
teamwork.
like every aspect of life as well, not just dishes. Some relationships take it a step further, even at restaurants. I pay, you pay. What is it? Tip, etc. etc.
Exactly.
Why do men think that the grass is greener on the other side? What do you think?
Well, I think both men and women have the,
Yeah, that
I
kind of
mean,
thing.
I think that just comes from being uncontent with where you are, and being unsatisfied and being unhappy, and not taking the proper steps to actually solve your problems and
Yeah.
actually address the issues that are causing you to feel unsatisfied. Because usually, if home is not happy, that's when we start looking, on the
exactly.
street. You know what I'm saying?
And also, like on a single aspect, is like sometimes we tend to sometimes feel, and I can only talk from like from a church setting,
Yeah.
in the church circle, that you feel like you have so many options
Yeah.
that you just always just feel, and you think you actually think you got a lot of because although there's quantity is not quality, like so there's a lot of people out there
Yeah,
you
you
think
preach
you have,
right there.
but there's not what you really want. There's not a lot of options out there. So if you get someone that's really good, hold on to that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I feel that why men will feel that, okay, grass is green on the other side. Let me just try to still figure this one out, instead of just choosing.
Yeah.
And of course, we have we probably know some people that's been married and then cheated, and then because they weren't content and they're entertaining other things. Like they need to just sometimes. My brother said it to shout out to Shell. He said, Eddie, man, a lot of time, half of the stuff that these married guys get in trouble, they just need to go home, but they're still living like they're single.
exactly,
Like, and
Living
you're
like
going, just go home.
Yep.
That'll knock out so
Go
much
home,
of the
Roger.
temptation right there. That simple action, but I believe that's what.
Yeah, but what you said is legit though, as far as like options, especially as a single guy. I already know, like, because like when if you're a guy, because a guy like you, like you're Eddie, like people know you, so therefore you do sort of have more options than like maybe a more typical guy.
Like
Yeah,
that
but then I had to catch the L. 'Cause
How you gonna try that, man? Yeah, so like a guy, so a guy like that's in your position, or like a high value man who puts himself together, who actually does have options, he could get analysis paralysis, because then he's like,
Yo!
he looks around and he sees like so many different.
Oh
That's
my
why I'm in the predicament. What I'm in, going to be transparent. That's what, like, you know, happened in, like, you know, the whether late 20s or whatever, and early 30s. Like, you think you have, all right, this, that, and then that word, I like that,
Analysis paralysis.
You know
Dr.
what I'm saying?
Jovi, one more time.
So I've learned now. I have to take the L and let some good ones go. But now I realize that, yeah, you guys, listen, don't get all caught up in the whole, let me just be picky. This person, all right, she don't got this, so let me just go ahead, because you'll end up still being alone and just now.
Exactly.
And in the dating game right now, it's crazy that I wish I would have just chose somebody back
back
in,
in
because now it's getting crazier and crazier with. I mean, that's like another subject with all so much other things gotten, and like the pick up the litter is not all that great just because you think it has quantity.
But personally, I think because of optimism, right? So look at it in a sense of, like, you know, you just quit your job and you're looking for another job. When you're looking for another job, you're looking at the requirements of the job, you're looking at the qualifications that you have, and you're looking at the attributes of the job, right? So it's the same thing in a relationship, right? You're basically going after another woman because you're like, okay, I feel like this is gonna be great. So, you know, in a sense where you didn't cheat, right? But, you know, mutual disagreement and you guys split, right? I'm looking for it to be green on the other side because, okay, my girlfriend was this way, but then I realized that this girl is this way. So I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. It's obviously green on the other side because of these qualifications and all of this that is presented before me. So I think it's because of optimism, really. Because, you know, if I leave her, I mean, I'm gonna be like, well, it can't get worse than this. I mean, come on, you know. So
I think men think grass is green on the other side. Man,
let 'em have it.
Listen, right? In my humble opinion, because sometimes nobody never talks about this. Sometimes the grass might just be green on the other side.
It might be.
Man, if you got a person that don't, I think. Okay, watch this. Some men think grass is green on the other side. I'm gonna go with that. They think it's green on the other side. I think a lot of men sometimes get with a woman or marry a woman that they ain't necessarily want.
Exactly.
Let me explain myself.
A lot of Christian men. Bro.
Yeah. Let me explain myself, right?
ouch.
So this is where, my bad, bro.
Marry what you want.
This is where settling comes in, right? Now, in my humble opinion, I think it's a little bit okay for a woman to settle, and all y'all independent Beyonces out there ain't talking to y'all, okay? Yeah. Y'all do y'all thing, okay? But women are a little bit more, you know, they can adjust a lot more easily to a man. When it comes to a man adjusting to a woman, because we're way more physical, and I'm not just talking about on the look aspect, I'm just saying, a lot of men, because of, and there's a lot of different reasons. I don't know all the reasons, but I do know when I look at a lot of married men, and I guess you can say I study their vibe with their wife, I'd be like, you marry her because y'all had kids, you marry her because, watch this, this is crazy. You marry her because she held you down. Like, I'm telling you, you marry her because she held you down. So, when you go in the mall and you see the woman that you actually wanted, and the woman that you were like, I'm gonna get up and go to work for her because I gotta do this, you be like, dang. Because what happens is you actually married this woman. It's a crazy thing. It's not that you don't care about her. It is not that you don't care enough about the kids. But there's this other thing in you that be like,
You're not attracted.
man, I don't want to say it, bro. They be killing me for it. They be like, oh my God, you so superficial.
It's just the
I'm
truth.
not.
It's just the truth.
It's
man.
like, this is
Physical
what it is.
attraction matters. If
Yeah.
you think it's
Yes.
shallow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
It matters.
I ain't
bro.
trying to be nothing, y'all. I'm telling you what it is. A lot of men marry the woman that they wouldn't necessarily like pick. I always
I
get,
notice that all the time.
yeah, bro.
All the time. Like you see certain dudes,
Yeah.
and especially if you knew them when they were single, the
Yeah.
type of chicks they used to
Went
mess
out
with,
there.
and then they get married to somebody, and they kind of
Like, why you did that, bro?
it's like why?
Why? Yeah.
And,
She was
and
there,
it's like,
she just got her
and
pregnant,
it's like,
that's why.
it's like I get that maybe they're prioritizing her inside, right?
Right.
They're prioritizing the
That's
character
cool.
of the woman, which is cool. Her character is enough to hold you down.
Yeah.
But you
be
gotta
real.
know yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Be
You
real
have to
with
know
yourself.
yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Be
Because-
honest. You
Yeah.
can't
Because
like,
at
when
the
you
end of the
start
day-
lying to
Yeah.
yourself, that's,
Yeah, it
you're in a
is.
bad
Yo,
place.
I had to marry somebody pretty because when I go out in public, my eyes be like, so I had to
Hey,
have
my
somebody
man,
who's pretty,
real.
like,
Yo,
And
facts.
men are not gonna say that because a woman gonna be
Hello.
like, they gonna take out their AK.
I said the same thing.
But
And
it's the
you know what
truth.
I said? I don't want to be. I don't want to wake up in the morning and be scared. I don't want to. I don't want to wake up in the morning and be like, oh crap,
I'm done.
who is
No,
this?
no, and
Like,
yo, one thing I always tell Krista too is that like I'm so glad that I married such a beautiful wife because, and I'm not trying to suck up to her.
Nah,
you
you
know,
good.
But I'm glad I married such a beautiful wife is because when I see other pretty girls, I don't feel like I'm missing out on.
exactly.
Period.
Like,
Same.
more is
Same.
better. You know, Krista's
If-
better. You know what I'm saying?
If I wanted what I got, I don't care who around.
Yeah, even if she looks better,
Hey,
it
watch
doesn't
this.
matter.
Because yours is still pretty.
yours
Yeah.
is,
yeah.
Hey,
because you're still attractive.
Watch this. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm still gonna look. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
hey, hey,
I'm
listen.
still looking.
Hey, listen.
It is what it
I'm
is.
still gonna look, but I'm not gonna stare.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna
come
still
on.
say hello, but I'm gonna be like, hey, my baby over there. I promise you. But
Yeah.
like, y'all,
I know this is one thing I love with my wife. I remember I was in a relationship. My wife now, she'd be like, hey, doing? Look at her butt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You
I'm
got
just
that
like,
kind of-
and my wife and I, we have that nice
that kind of
banter,
vibe, yeah,
and like
exactly.
it's just so comfortable
Yeah.
because I'm just like,
Let's look at.
I can't be like the relationship that I left out of. If I looked at a woman and complimented her,
That's
let's
it.
just
That's it.
chop off
Yeah.
the head same time.
That's
But
called-
with
that's
Jessica,
security, my guy.
That's security, bro.
and
But when
it
you
was.
got a secure woman,
I used to, and with Jessica, it's just like, hey, Dwayne. Her hair looks awful. And I'm like,
And y'all there critiquing another.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And we're looking at another woman, and it's fine.
It's
So
all
we
It's
good,
like,
yeah.
bruh.
It's all good. That's good.
Yes, men do want sex.
the majority of the time. And if they can make up another day to get it, it's 7 days a week. If I can make up 8 days in a week, I put 8 days.
So the question is, how do men, Christian men, refrain from having sex when you're courting? Let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you what I did. I went back to Jamaica. That's what I did. I went back to Jamaica. That's how I prevent myself from having. I fled. I went back to Jamaica and I came back up when I was ready to propose. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was burning.
Look,
I
when it
couldn't
comes
do
to
it.
that, it's all about
couldn't do it.
boundaries. It's all about
Yes,
setting boundaries,
boundaries,
and
man.
respecting those boundaries.
And being honest with
And being
yourself.
disciplined.
Yeah, being disciplined. Don't act like, oh, all right, baby, now you can just come to our house and
You are
Netflix and
not
chill.
strong
When you
enough.
know y'all not going to do no chilling. Because you got to be, we are all flesh, we're all human, and sometimes as Christians, like we're not trying, like stop trying to be a super Christian. Like, at the end of the know that you are flesh and you are man.
Super Christian.
All right, so only Jesus was able to be tempted at all points and still overcome.
You
So
are not
with that
Jesus
being
Christ.
said, you guys have an attraction to each other. Y'all are there's a reason why you guys are together. So it's important to set certain boundaries, you know, so that you could avoid certain things from going down. Because it's not you never just fall into it. It's that little thing that leads to the little thing that eventually goes to that big thing. And we're all grown and we know ourselves now at this stage what boundaries we need to set. So it's all about being honest with each other. You know
Yeah,
what
so
I'm
like if you know that your fiance likes a specific cologne, don't put it on. And go near her.
Now you getting
Hold on,
extreme.
hold on, hold on,
You got to come up for yourself.
hold on. Because
Don't play.
Don't
let me
seduce
say,
Don't seduce the woman.
don't seduce her with the cologne. That's what I meant. Thank you. That's what I meant. Don't be going all up in her face. You have to be wise.
You have to be wise, but you got to be realistic too. About,
Yeah, that was-
if
that
your
was- that was the
fiance,
extreme,
y'all gonna
but,
have, you guys gonna have some self control too. And one thing about being
No.
boundaries,
That's
but
why I'm finna
you
go.
gotta
I
have
know
self
women-
control.
I
You're
feel like
gonna
that
have to
should
know how to
that should have
be.
been the first thing.
That's why I'm finna
I
go
know
to.
women.
Yeah.
I know women like when they smell certain cologne. That's it for them. That's it.
Now
for
got
them.
no self control.
I-
You have
what-
self
what
control
women
as
are
a
they?
leader.
No, because when you talk about self-control, when you're talking about sexual fire and desire, like there's really not like once you get to that point where like you're about to get intimate, it's impossible to like stop.
Kind of just.
I wouldn't use the word impossible.
I definitely
I've seen it be done.
I definitely
Alright,
wouldn't use the word
Tom
impossible.
I wouldn't use the word impossible. I've
No,
seen
no.
it be done.
No, it can be done, but what I'm saying is
It's difficult.
Realistically,
It's one of the hardest things to do.
yeah, but what I'm saying is it's like once you put yourself in that predicament, there's like a 80% chance of failure. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
That's high.
it is a bit higher.
That's
It's not
high.
impossible. It's
Yeah.
like it's like 95.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
To me,
Self-control.
I've come to figure out it works. You got a higher percent of a chance of it working if both people, watch this, if both people want to do that. If both people don't want to do it, it's only a matter of time.
It's called rape.
Y'all gonna do it?
That's what it's called.
Well,
No.
technically, yeah. If you want to take it,
Nah,
from a very-
real talk.
Yeah, real talk.
Both people have to not want to do it, right? I'm just keeping it. You just want to keep 100. Both people have to not want to do it. If you got one person that has amazing self-control, but the other person is weak, it's almost like the unequally yoked thing.
Yeah.
It's like the person that got that self-control, that person weak, she gonna be like, this nigga just keep assing and assing and assing and assing. Okay, man. Okay, just touch it one time. You know what I'm saying? For real.
No,
But,
you gotta agree.
yeah,
Quality touch.
it's like, that's just what it is. So,
Physical touch.
other than that, what Dwayne says work. It's like go
Far away.
far.
It literally works. Yeah.
Flee.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause you can't do nothing.
Yeah,
Run,
it
Joseph,
literally
run.
works.
That boy had no self-control.
If y'all not together, y'all
And what is the
physically
word
can't.
of God?
The word of God make
He
it.
was committed.
Bro, the word of God make it
said run.
difficult. The Bible, yeah. The Bible says
Shun the very
that,
appearance.
yeah, so this is what the Bible says for everybody to be like, I just fell into it. The Bible says, I guess it goes to the Christian, it says for every temptation, it says God provides a way of escape. But it goes back to you got to not want to. For me, the gym work, basketball work,
Release that sexual tension.
hey, real talk, right?
So, yeah, for real.
I got 3 men that are around me all the time that are Christian men, and even though they gonna keep it real with me, they never tell me, bro, don't do that. But they be like, bro, like we not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
So they never be like, nah, don't do that. They be like once we joke about it, yeah, like once we joke about it, they be like, bro, go home.
Good
Like,
counsel.
bruh. And I'll be like, man, he be like,
Accountability,
bro, go home. We got church in the morning.
Yeah.
And after I think about it, as long as she don't come up, I'll be good, bro. You feel what I'm saying? No, but real talk, like what really helps me out is just being busy, but what I like to do that don't involve, being, intimate or whatever. But a lot of times the accountability of having people around that are actually serious,
Like-minded,
like just
yeah,
like you,
yeah.
that'll play a part a lot. When you with a dude for 5, 4, 3, maybe sometime even 2 years, he simply don't know what he wants, or he's not ready for marriage. But like what I just said, oftentimes if a man is with a woman and he know he not ready for marriage or whatever, man, if she got good qualities where you make me feel good, I just like being around you, or you a smart girl, most men will try to drag that along as long as possible. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I kind of have to say the majority of men that are just, secure about themselves and know what they want, it ain't gonna be that long. It's like, and especially when you older, you know what I mean? It's like,
Ready.
it ain't gonna be that long. It's like, yeah, I'm finna wife her because I don't want her to get away. Or I'm finna wife her because I know she's good for me, So it just goes back to what they say. When you find yourself where it's just dragging and dragging and dragging along, it's like you're there just for the comfort. And I'm gonna keep it real. It be both ways too. I know females be like, why they just dragging me along? And they be there for comfort too. That's what I can say. Is the reason why it's always that long. The dude doesn't know what he wants. He's definitely not sure about you. It's something there that I'm not.
Do you think
Quite sure.
just because if he was engaged for like a year and whatnot, do you think it's dangerous or not, I don't want to use dangerous?
Well, I mean,
risky.
All right, so
The longer the engagement.
yeah. So time is definitely a factor when it comes to these things, right? So
Yeah,
obviously, the longer you're with somebody, is the
Yeah.
more you run the risk of
Yeah.
falling into
Turning things
that
up.
activity.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But like you said, as long as both of you have the mindset
Right.
that you want to please God more than you want to gratify your flesh,
Yeah.
then
it's
just like any
possible.
other aspect of Christianity, you're
Right.
able to do it. You know,
Amen.
but you have to set the proper boundaries. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
have.
mean, it's just really you just can't be in the same place at the same time alone.
Like
at
without at certain
you,
times.
you need to have some kind of accountability and some sort of structure and boundaries in which you choose to live,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
that you don't create
I
the
agree.
opportunity for them.
And it's
and
not
don't
impossible.
step outside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not impossible. I get it. It's hard, but when people be like, "Ain't nobody doing that," I don't like when people say that. It's like there are people. Is it a lot? No. I'm keep it real with you on that. It's not.
Hard don't mean
all
impossible.
right, so when you say that, you mean like, all right, so you mean she could come over and y'all can Netflix without the chill?
All right, so here we go. All right, so I'm gonna insert myself into this.
Chill that Jason.
Nah, like I'm gonna insert myself into this, right? So I've been in a relationship or two where it was like, I mean, if I keep it 100, bro, we both had the same mindset. Like, I'm gonna keep it totally 100, and it's crazy. It just kind of exchanged itself off. The times when I was weak, for whatever reason, I guess she was on the fast, and she was like, no. I'm like, man, come on, man, no. And the time when she was weak, man, y'all gonna laugh. I was in convocation, so you know how they do a convocation,
yeah.
You know, man.
Yeah,
I'm the musician,
exactly.
man. They gonna come here prophesying. They
Yeah,
gonna be
they
like,
gonna prophesy on
I
you.
know what you were
Get
doing
off the
last night.
drums.
I know what you were doing last night.
That was a little bit of fear that was there, right?
Called
So
out.
it's crazy. There was some offsetting going, and again, I kind of feel that was a way of God just
Providing the
this
way.
is the way that I'm providing for escape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's up to you to take it.
Yeah.
Another situation I had in high school. This when I first learned that God provides a way for escape. Went to the girl house, man. She told me her daddy wasn't there. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. Man, we went up to the top stairs, and then she was like, my daddy at work. Man, I heard that door open. I say, I thought your daddy was at work. Bruh, they had these long stairs or whatever, right? Long story short, bruh, I jumped down those stairs and I ran back to the school. Ain't seen girl ain't seen girl for a whole week. When we came back to school, I'm like, man, you good? She was like, man, my dad was mad. But you know, this girl was like, so you gonna come back to my house? I was like,
You don't learn your lesson.
what? But the thing was, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I might as well go back. And then I thought about it. I'm like, God provided a way for him to escape.
So don't
why
go
are you
back.
going
Yeah.
to choose to go back?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's situations that occur that we don't have any control over where God provides that way.
Yeah, God,
Now,
God could definitely intervene.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about relying on your
again,
strength
like
as
that's
a human,
just,
like,
again, self-control, bruh. It's like, it's something you gotta practice. Now, this is what I tell guys. I think I did not perfect, but it was really good with self-control because I practiced it at an early age because of my upbringing and because of a book I read. I forgot the book, man, but it did a wonderful job at the age of 18. It's like I read the book and I started applying. You know how we read things and we apply it, and it was the simplest thing in the world. It was like literally don't stare. I'm like, what? I promise y'all, when I would go to the mall and stuff, I would look, but I wouldn't stare. I would look and I wouldn't stare. And it developed into me actually having self-control. It's like, I never really stared. It's like, man, I ain't gonna stare at that. I kind of was lying to myself, like, man, she ain't fine, but that girl fine, bro. Like, when I say fine, I'm like, I ain't gonna stare. But what it did, it created this type of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, that's what it created. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I can look at a woman and they gonna be like, this nigga tripping. I ain't. I can look at a woman, she be butt booty naked, and I'll be like,
you can separate.
Yeah,
your-
it's like they ain't gonna be no good.
Look,
I'm
but
probably
it's-
lying to myself, but
But
here
you're talking
the discipline is here. It's like, man, they ain't gonna be no good. Like, nigga, please. It's like, they ain't gonna be no good. But then I get away from that situation. That thing was probably gonna be some good. Bro, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It was probably gonna be some good.
Talk yourself
But
out.
I
of it.
got away from
Yeah.
that situation, bro.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And
good.
it's like, don't stare works. Like when I say don't stare
Don't
works,
stare.
bruh, when you stare, that thing go to manifest and you be like, you
Turn
be
into
like,
stone.
"God, what?" So,
I
but
ain't even gonna lie, I'm not as well versed on this topic anymore because
Nah, you
I
very
had so
good,
much sex.
man.
It's not even funny. Bro.
I can't stand you.
I can't relate to y'all boys, bro. I can't relate to y'all.
I too have so much sex.
I can't stand it.
All right, that's it. Show is over. We're just gonna wrap this show up with the men edition of Truth at the Table. I just want to thank my guests here, my brothers. And listen, man, we just want you guys to make sure that y'all subscribe. That y'all also leave some comments. All right, we're looking for many of you all just to chime in points that we probably glossed over. Put down your opinion, put down what is important to you, and we'll see you at the next Truth at the Table. God bless y'all. Have a good one.
Peace.